Welcome
Hi,
back.
guys.
We're talking about hair real quick. Honk has great natural curls. Okay, so mine, look at my, this is like, okay, have you seen like when homeless people are so homeless and you're like that's what my hair kind of.
So you're talking like an experienced unhoused.
Yes, an experienced unhoused that it's, it doesn't really have a lot of body. It kind of just dreads up and then gets straight.
But here's what it is, and here's what it isn't. You always get those straightening treatments to your hair.
But they go away after like 4 months.
But you're putting intense chemicals on your hair that has to affect it, no?
I mean, they go away after 4 months.
Oh. Okay, Lee's cat is trying to escape Alcatraz.
Yeah, okay. We won't draw any attention to the fucking cat.
Okay, we'll be focused. Well, here's the thing. So I was like looking at I was like, just, I don't know. I was looking at my Instagram the other day and I noticed that I don't have like any clips or pictures or anything like with like my natural hair. And I was like, dang, I'm like catfishing a little too much. So I'm trying to get more in touch with myself and I'm trying to just only wear my hair. Also, the heat damage is a real ass thing.
Your curls look really good.
So I'm trying to, they're a little dry right now, honey, but I'm just trying to get back in touch with the curly ass me.
Are you going to get rid of the blonde?
Yes. I want to get it's so expensive to do. It's been a long, fun run, but I really wanted to get my natural color, which is like this,
sandy blonde,
sandy mushroom or like brownish blonde thing. And I want to just do that and be done with this blonde for a minute.
And I get that.
It's so exhausting.
Blonde is very expensive. Welcome back to another episode of Tea Time. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Today's episode is about being gay.
It's about gay experiences, whether you've acted on them or you haven't.
Or you're full blown.
If your gayness is in full bloom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I made out with a girl.
You've made out with a few girls.
I've made out with a few girls. The first girl I made out with, I was at a party and we were like making small talk and I felt so awkward. I didn't know what to do. So I just kissed her because I was like, I don't know what else to do right now in this moment. So I kissed her. And then
it would be really funny if men used that excuse. I didn't know, so I just laid one on her.
And they do.
And then they had to charge, but you just caught a cute little interaction.
I did, and she was cute. And then I remembered that she got like really into me, and I was like, I can't. No.
She thought you were going to be her mask daddy.
She did.
Her Hey Mamas era.
She did,
but
it didn't.
Here's the thing. Can I ask you,
please?
When you've kissed girls, has it mostly been for like, oh, it's a joke, or oh, I'm just drunk, or has there been like a little part of you that's like, okay, that was kind of fun?
Literally, all of them.
Okay.
Literally all of them.
If you are a first-time listener, you already know, or you don't know, but I always call Honk closeted.
Everybody thinks that I'm closeted, and that also...
that was a really fun rumor that I started.
It could also be true. We're not sure. My boyfriend is convinced that I'm heavily bisexual, which is also probably true.
Every time you share an anecdote about your boyfriend, it just makes me enjoy this relationship even more.
And he goes, it's okay. He goes, you're bi. It's okay. And I was like, oh.
You are bi, but I think that you are just too angry to admit that.
I'm too angry. I'm too scared. So,
and I think that the stigma against the bis keeps you from, because the bi people are annoying. And I think that's a safe space to admit that.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. I've never fingered, never gotten fingered by a woman.
Have you ever gotten munched?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't. Never done it.
Ever had a tit sucked?
I've done it.
A nip sucked?
I've done it. I don't know if anybody's done it to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck it up.
That's it.
That's what it is. Lee,
Lee's had some... gay.
Lee, you're fucking gay, but you're not gay in like you like penis way. You're just like fucking gay.
Yeah.
No, he's gay in the penis way.
Well, when he's on meth. That was actually really crazy.
It's not gay if you're on meth.
That's
okay,
so true.
No, because not us making merch that says it's not gay if you're on meth.
That's actually really funny.
Oh my God.
Wait, that's really funny.
So, is it funny to just us? No, it's not.
No, it's really funny. I would buy that shirt. I would literally buy that shirt.
I would wear it on a toe.
That was a Matt LeGrand drop.
Was it?
Oh, wait, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's on...
Okay. Okay, we'll give him...
That's on Matt fucking LeGrand.
Okay, well, we'll give him credit and a portion of the proceeds, but that's our merch, so...
Yeah, it is. Wait, I forget. Have you ever sucked a dick?
Join us on Patreon.
Lee saves all of his tea for Patreon.
He does.
He won't give a thing away on the public
No,
episode.
because on the public episodes, this is Lee.
So my friend from Massachusetts. Well, no, he was actually from Philly. But so we had a sandwich. Well, it was a quesadilla.
And it's like, okay, what is this? And then you get on Patreon, and it's the most insidious, wild, entertaining thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, and then he's going wild over on Patreon.
No, because I feel bad for other podcasts that have boring ass producers because we got a crazy one. And we love to
Here's
see
my
it.
question. Have you ever had a gay experience?
No, I stayed strong. I'm fucking straight. Not like you weak fucks.
You didn't give in to the devil's.
No, because I want to
devil's
go to
catnip?
heaven. I think being gay is for weak people. And
I would agree.
yeah.
Is this going to get flagged for hate speech on YouTube?
Not that it would change anything.
So true.
It's every single, this whole podcast is a trigger warning. No, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've been starting to tell bits about it in my stand-up, but no, I've had Yuled gay urges pretty much right out the gate. But then it was always.
Do you feel like you're lying right now?
No, I feel like you're jealous because you're so deep in the fucking closet. So enjoy choking on that D while I'm in Munch City. But here's the thing. There was this girl in my kindergarten that I thought was so beautiful and so cool. And I named my cat after her.
You've told this story on here.
Yes. Yeah, I named my cat after her.
It was like Auntie Krusty or something.
Her name was like Aunt Lydia or something. And I named my cat Aunt Lydia because that's what I thought her name was. So don't worry about that.
That's really funny. And that's on Auntie Krusty.
And that's on Aunt Crust, Aunt Munch. And then when I was in 7th grade, I just could not stop staring at this girl in one of my classes. And then this guy, James, fucking called me out and he was like, ew, are you staring at her tits? And then I think I was like 11 or something. And then, that really ingrained in, I'm like, oh, that's okay. There's shame being associated with this feeling. Okay. I don't like that. I don't want to feel embarrassed. And then I would see everyone else getting teased.
Do you think James said ew because he was also gay and he was like, ew, I don't want to look at tits?
I think you just nailed it.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah. So shout out to James.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend in high school. And whenever we would have sleepovers, we would both already kissed boys, so this didn't make any sense, but we would practice kissing. And
that's so wild. I never had a friendship that was like a homoerotic friendship.
I would love to hear her point of view because maybe she really was like, okay, I'm really getting my practice in. Like, thank God we're spending the night at Harper's so I can be ready to get out there. For me, I was also deeply confused, but where is she now? Is she gay now? She's gay now. Yeah. Which is funny. Yeah. She's in a relationship with a woman. But yeah. And then also, I mean, I've had relationships with men and whatnot, but I always just felt there was always just kind of a disconnect. And I would really love like my friendships with them. And then also I felt, I don't know, I just didn't really feel myself. But then now at 30, I feel I'm finally learning to step into myself. And I just really feel, I genuinely don't feel, and also maybe this will change in a year, but right now I genuinely do not feel bi. I feel like I am just into women.
Really?
I really do. And
Whoa.
I know that was also that's as silly as it might seem, that's honestly kind of even hard to say. But it does feel right. And I just genuinely enjoy having sex with women so much more than I do with men. And that's just really that.
Because you're scissoring?
Yes, Gabby.
You put your pussy inside of another pussy and that's how you have sex?
That is.
So is it whoever has the bigger lips is the one doing the fucking? It's a valid question.
Well, actually, it's whoever can do the Ellen talk show dance. The
longest.
The longest. That's who's the top.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is it whoever has more facial hair is the...
Go on. Don't be shy, honk. You're exploring. You're learning. And this is when we need to have compassion for bis. And closeted.
Whoever has...
Yeah.
You guys
No.
The way that lesbians have sex, you like if you put like your tits inside of the pussy.
So yeah, that's a great question. And
Yeah.
this was, this was a new experience.
Just
for
want
me
to
too.
clear that up.
Yeah.
For some
So
of our
for any
listeners.
of you out there that are wondering, like, gosh, like, I'm a woman and I want to have sex with women, but I don't know where to begin. The first place you're gonna start is
Mhm.
you're just gonna whip out specifically the left tit, and you're just gonna start just jamming it in her
into
cooch.
what? Into her cooch.
Into her cooter. Yeah.
I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Does it come? Do you come? In your
The
tit-
pussy
in your
doesn't,
tits?
but the tit does.
The tit does.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Not many people do.
It's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what you're going to do with the other one,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Avatar. So after you're done doing that, you're going to take
Interesting.
the other tit
Yeah.
and you're going to connect it to her tit. And you guys are going to it kind of like locks in together.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like a puzzle
And then you
piece.
just become like one big giant lesbian.
One huge raging dyke. Yeah. And then you guys actually become a Subaru. And then.
Nice. So that's what happens.
It's like Power Rangers.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I like that. That answers
Mighty
a lot of,
Morphin Munchin time. Mm-hmm.
that answers a lot of questions.
Does that clear it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of young listeners here, so I think we're really doing a service.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are learning
A lot.
and thriving.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah. Of course. I'm ready.
Go on.
I don't think she has a question.
I have a question.
Yeah. I'm
Can
ready.
I ask it?
Yeah.
When you were having sex with your mom, do you feel like maybe you would have been more comfortable being openly gay if she would have done a better job?
It's a really good question.
Because I know that you've mentioned before on this podcast that
Yeah.
your dad just like laid it down better.
My dad laid it down better. If I had to compare the two. So,
Which
sorry,
you do.
ask the question again.
So do you feel like you're not able to be open about your sexuality because your mom failed you as a lover?
Because my mom was not a very good fuck. Yeah, she was selfish. She was a selfish lover.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of a feminist approach of her, I guess.
Didn't ask me a lot about myself. Wasn't very good at, going down.
She didn't put her tit inside you the right
She
way?
didn't put, I guess not. I didn't
that's
even know
'cause
that
you're-
could happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's
she
got
didn't do
some,
it
and
right.
she's got some knockers, so I'm surprised to hear this.
Dang, she was being stingy.
I guess.
I'm really sorry. And thank you for being vulnerable.
Now I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you watched, when your mom said, she got you and your brother into a room and she said, one of you is going to have to fuck me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever doesn't, you're going to be a gay loser.
Are you talking about the time when she did it when we were kids or as teenagers?
The first one. This
Okay.
was kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the question?
So I guess she fucked Eli because you became the gay loser. And
Oh,
she was
I see what you're saying.
Right. She
Yeah.
said one of
That's
you's
clear.
gonna have to fuck me, or you're gonna be a gay loser.
Well,
if you don't.
it was actually kind of like a race. Like she said, ready
Right.
for it? 3, 2, 1. And Eli he had more stamina.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he beat me to it.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how you think you got the curse.
Yeah.
The
curse. That's how I got the dark mark. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. A
Yeah.
defect, if you will.
It's weird.
Mhm.
That's weird because when your dad fucked Eli, he didn't get gay.
No, they got straighter.
Because that's what happens to men.
This is our attempt at a Pride episode.
That's what happens when you put two people.
Yesterday was Father's Day.
We're trying to sneak one in before Pride, the end of Pride Month. And this is what it is.
So
offensive.
So here's what it is. You can't
insensitive.
you can't legally say we're not inclusive because
You can't.
we just included all of y'all. So that's really what it is.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
The point is, people, they try and say certain things are taboo. They try and
Yeah.
say sexuality is taboo. They try and
Yeah.
say like, getting a lot of tattoos is taboo. They try
Yeah.
and say like, having a race with your sibling to see who can have sex with your mom the fastest is taboo. And we're here to say it ain't. It just ain't. It's kind of loving.
We break barriers here.
We break.
The only reason it's weird is because societally we've been taught that it's weird for you and your
Societally, we
siblings
have.
to race to fuck your mom.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think if this is making you uncomfortable, you need to look inwards.
You got to do some inner work.
You know what they say? If you are getting really annoyed and uncomfortable by
Yeah.
someone, usually it's because it's bringing up something for you.
Well, and the reason that my brothers never fuck my mom is because she's not their biological mother.
So there just would have been no point.
There would have been no point.
No.
I was the one who was left to it, to do the work.
And it didn't even sound like she was doing it right.
She wasn't.
And that's why
She's-
generational trauma is so important to notice, because look at what she passed down. No skills.
guess it all makes sense now.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Is anyone else confused?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's confused anymore.
Well,
I think everybody's out.
I
Yeah.
think everyone's out.
Everyone's out.
We just helped everybody out of the closet in the whole world.
Now here's the thing. I am
The
gonna
whole world.
I am gonna say this. Okay, this is now giving Oprah
whole-
Winfrey's
yeah.
podcast, but
It is.
I am gonna say this. Right before this started, we were talking about our friend. Well, that's our little comic buddy, Jared Goldstein, because he just got on Black Mirror. He's killing it. We love to see it. And Gabby, you go, like that's amazing. Why can't we be on that? Like, why aren't we on that? And whenever you're confused, I want you to just listen to this episode in the first 10 minutes. And I think it's going to answer all the questions
Do you
as
think
to
it's
why
because
we are where
Hollywood?
we are.
Do you think because agents in Hollywood will listen to this and they'll be like, they're too right, and people in Hollywood are afraid of the truth?
No, I think they're going to listen. I think all the power players in Hollywood are going to listen to this. I think they're going to get so horny, stop listening, and go fuck their mommies and their daddies.
And then they'll forget to hire us.
And they're just gonna be caught in a
Yes.
cum storm.
Yes.
They're not gonna know. There's gonna be limbs flying, fluids
Yes.
flowing,
Yes.
and I think they're not gonna know what hit them.
I mean, don't meet your heroes, right?
Right, Lee.
They have to keep
No,
us
so you
at
lost
a
me on that
distance.
one.
They have to keep us at a distance. They have
Right.
to keep
Oh,
us
right.
over
Now I
there.
see. Now I'm back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So they just have to let us do our thing.
Yeah. It is crazy being so real. You know what I mean? Like we're just so
Is it-
real.
Is it crazy?
It's so crazy.
So
If you are listening to this and you know me personally, please don't message me about this.
it's a sensitive
I
subject.
don't want to hear what the hell were you. I'm gonna forget what I said the second I leave. I've
Yeah.
already started to forget what
It's
I just
already
said.
gone.
So I don't want you to do not just keep it to yourself and bring it up to your mom.
Now, what I want to do is let's get into the stories.
You start off this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to read one that I kind of just went over and it made me, well, it was pretty bad.
Okay.
All right. My lesbian experience. When I was in high school, nearly all of my female friends wanted to experiment with me. I never found out why. Maybe I just throw off hot lesbian vibes. Most of the experiences I had were pretty standard: massaging boobs, taking naked baths together, making out, asking me to be their girlfriend, things like that. But there's one lesbian rendezvous from my youth that sticks out from the others. Her name was Bobby. We were watching Bring It On, and she was fingering me on the couch. Unbeknownst to me, I hadn't wiped my ass nearly enough after shitting earlier that night.
No. Oh, heavens.
My holes are pretty close together.
Yeah, okay.
Let's just say her fingertips came out of my underwear, looking like she dug around in a pile of mud. Neither of us commented on it. She just went to the restroom to wash her hands. Oh my God, I was mortified. But neither of us said anything. The next morning, my sister was driving her home after our little sleepover. We were both sitting in the back seat. Bobby looks at me and asks, "Do you think pooping is sexy?" And my sister and I locked eyes via the rearview mirror. It was a huge what the fuck moment, and I just replied, "No, but I get how some people might like it."
No.
I believe she thinks I shit on her fingers on purpose because I have a poop fetish.
Why would she ask that in front of the sister?
And she ate my shit out from under her fingernails What?
What?
All I can say is Bobby was a down bitch. Talk about a ride or die.
Well, she is going to die from fucking E. coli, but what is going on?
Now, halfway through that story, I started thinking, is this fake? Because what?
I mean, after that chicken story on Patreon, I will believe anything.
She ate my shit out from under her fingernails, but I thought she went to the bathroom right after she. How did that? Was the shit in your pussy?
Oh, Gabby.
I mean, it's like you're not going to accidentally finger the butthole.
She said that her holes are really close together. So it might have maybe
scraped.
It maybe like slipped out or I don't really know. But
I saw, oh, wait. Did I miss this part? Did I miss reading this part?
It sounds like you skipped a part.
I think I did. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Neither of us commented on it. She just went to the restroom to wash her hands. Later that night, we took a bath together. Did I skip over all of that?
Yes.
Jesus. Later that night, we took a bath together. I saw her using her teeth to scrape out my leftover poop that was under her nails. I don't know how I missed that.
I don't know why people are not in psych wards when they act like that.
Let's just say her fingertips came out of my underwear looking like she dug around in a mud pile. In a mud pie.
You also need some help because why would you not realize?
Yeah, aren't you like itchy and like
yes, it's so itchy when you have shit left in your underwear.
Yeah,
it's itchy.
Okay, Miss Pro, but here's the thing. That's insidious.
Neither of us said anything. Yeah, they took a bath together. She was scraping out the poop that was left under her nails. So I guess we'll start off there today.
Is that it?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's it.
Can I say something to you?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes, and I guess legally that was gay, but I feel like sometimes the people that write in to this haunted and decrepit podcast are just itching and looking for an excuse to tell their poop story.
That could be true. That could be true.
Like the candle story. I was like, honey, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'm pissed off. Teen gays of 2007. Hi, Harper and Gabby. When I was 16 to 17 and a half, I was in a full-blown lesbian relationship with someone who everyone just thought was my best friend. Not like, hee, we kiss sometimes. More like we trib. You know what that is, Gabby. Suck on titties, etc. If we weren't having a sleepover that week or weekend, we'd text at school and kiss in the bathroom during class because we felt weird being out in front of our friends. After a while, I started dating a guy because I thought we weren't exclusive, and we never really hung out again after senior year. She thought we were exclusive, and I wasn't willing to hop off the dick, even though she was cool and pretty. People still ask about our fallout literally 14 years later because it was so random and mysterious to all of our mutual friends, and I just shrug because I don't know if she ever said anything. But now I'm a struggling loser, and she received her trust fund, lives in France, and became a model. So, good thing I started dating that guy. She probably really misses me. Okay, bye-bye. XOXO, bye girl 69.
Okay.
So, it sounds like that was just a good old a good old case of just being kind of dumb. You ditched the trust fund model girl for a guy who probably gave you BV.
So true.
And we've all made mistakes.
Yeah. You know, I'm surprised these stories actually are very short. I don't have a lot of like big, lengthy juicies today.
Oh, really?
Oh, do you?
I got some odysseys up in here. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Here's an interesting one. It's short. I have a girlfriend that has dated 3 men that have turned out to be gay.
Oh, I got to speak on this. Okay.
One of them, to this day, is one of her closest friends. She stayed really close to him when they broke up. Most recently, she started dating a guy who turned out to be an abusive asshole that would like lie and gaslight her constantly. And one day she found out he was dressing up in women's clothes and like on Grindr when she was away. He was also gay. That makes 4. I feel bad for this girl. I honestly don't understand how it keeps happening, but it low-key made me question if my guy is secretly gay. Okay, well,
don't make it about you, but okay.
If women are all low-key gay, it can't just be them. Well, I don't think all women are low-key gay.
I don't think everyone is low-key gay. That's just what the conservatives are trying to push on.
I think it's easier for women to like act on gay urges.
I think it's more socially acceptable for women to act on gay urges. I think there is still a huge stigma against bi men.
100%. I feel like guys are also low-key gay. I also have a theory that a lot of the most abusive men that treat women like absolute trash are all just fighting with their demons of being secretly gay. I don't know. Thoughts? Yeah,
I could agree with that.
I could see that being very true. Because again, like we are so fucking horrific to gay men, you know, that like it is like such a stigma, I guess. I don't know, to be, if you're a straight man, to like, come out with like gay urges.
It's, I mean, why do you think there's also that? Oh, no homo. It's like they're so afraid of being perceived.
Yeah. But here is the thing. You look back in history and like men have been super bisexual since the beginning of time. I feel like it's within like the last 100 years that we've kind of like.
Don't you feel like I would feel like everyone is though, especially like in like Greek and Roman times.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was like super like being gay and being bisexual, like whatever, just fluid was way more. Like, it wasn't even thought about. And now we're at this point in time where it's like you have to be, if you have to be straight,
especially in Tennessee and Florida,
exactly,
and Texas,
and that's it. But I mean, up until literally like 100 years ago, men were like very sexually fluid. It's in history. It's in
yes, but yes and no. Yes, but I think it's. I forget the movie, and I wish I could remember it right now. But I was just watching this movie about this gay man in like the late 1800s.
Schindler's List.
And it's almost like you were in the room. It was actually Human Centipede. But I was just watching this movie, and it was based off a true story of this guy who was closeted, and it was, I don't know, it was just very sad and interesting. But I feel like there's always just been like a grappling with sexuality. But I do feel like, there was definitely like a shift to where it became way more taboo, especially I feel like in Western societies.
Yeah, definitely. I keep seeing these fucking like I keep ending up on the side of TikTok where it's like AI is like telling the stories.
Yes. Oh my Lord. Those are horrific.
Yeah. Of like, ancient Roman emperors and shit. There's a couple, I've seen a couple of these where it's like an AI generated like young boy. And it's like, hi, my name is Bartholomew. And I was, murdered because at the hand of the Roman emperor, Bruce, who wanted me to be his wife. So
the one who was castrated,
yes.
and then he ended up taking his own life because he was about to have to perform like public sex in front of the court.
But all of these guys were like openly fucking these like young boys, and it's like a whole thing. Like everybody was kind of just like sucking each other off back then.
No, it was chaos,
barbaric, if you will. But I mean, I don't know.
They would have the wife to do the bloodline, and then
right.
But even still, bad. Wouldn't people still be? Unless you're not an emperor, I feel like people still would be. I would. Too bad again. No one on this podcast knows anything about anything, but unless it's from an AI TikTok. But I'm pretty sure that you could still be like hung and stuff for being gay.
I don't know if that's true.
I think in some cultures, yes.
Maybe in some cultures, but I do feel like with her saying, I feel like guys are all low-key gay. I mean, I think way more men in existence are probably bisexual.
That's okay. So that's a good point.
Straight. I feel like there probably are more bisexual men than there are straight men.
I think there's more bisexual people
than
people realize, because obviously it's a spectrum, and some people are, hey, I'm just gay, and hey, I'm just straight. Okay, great. But for the most part, it's not just 100 or nothing. It's a kind of it's a sliding scale. And like sometimes you might just be like, oh, I'm really just into men, or oh, I'm just into women.
And the ones who are, I mean, this is, everybody I think kind of knows this, but the ones who are more like opposed, like just like super opposed to it are usually the ones who struggle with their sexualities. and can't-
100%.
And that's like, you know, why there's these fucking like transphobes and homophobes where they're like, I can't, no, I'm not gay, and gay people are blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, you're gay.
Just look inwards.
Just do
also-
ayahuasca.
Just do ayahuasca. Also, okay, I do love that show Queer Eye because I think it's really
So
cool
good.
when they do when they go to those conservative guys' house or those homophobic dudes and they give them a makeover and they're like, whoa, what's going on? And then they have this like beautiful experience. It's
Yeah.
like, you probably have never had an experience with a gay person.
No.
And so all of these ideas are just preconceived and it's all fear. And that's
Yeah.
also a lot of what homophobia is. It's just, you don't actually hate them. You are afraid of what it could mean about yourself.
Yeah.
And instead of just kind of sitting with that and being confident,
Mhm.
you are projecting out. Also, humans are very communal. So if people in your community are all
They're echo chambers. A lot of
Right.
these people are living in like, you know, are living in like conservative or liberal echo chambers. And the ones who are living in like these really conservative areas are just seeing like, you know, they come from these very small towns that are super religious, that are very anti anything that like doesn't make sense to them.
Mhm.
And like I don't know. Like you also see just like crazy fucking propaganda online too. Like literally John last night showed us a video of this like white blonde girl who was like, let me just show you this. And it's like this like transphobic rhetoric. And it's her being like, all of the trans women, the biological men are now winning races, are now our biological men are now taking awards for women
of the year.
And like, if you don't know any better, you would watch that and be like, yeah, that's actually really fucked up. But like, I'm watching that and I'm like, no, it's like, stop. Like, this is just a weird fear tactic.
Trans women are just now being allowed to be part of the conversation,
Right.
allowed to just be openly themselves.
And I hate, and the way that
Barely
it's,
even too, because of all the horrific laws that are being passed in
Right.
Tennessee and in Florida.
a biological man is winning woman of the year, and it's like, but women have been winning that award before, you know, like none of these things are like
Also,
new.
they're still winning. Also, yeah, the way it was being phrased was like, all right, ladies, you're being kicked out, and now look what's being. And I'm like,
but that's
no, we're just making room.
Yeah.
And they get threatened and feel uncomfortable.
And what's wild too is that these kinds of women that are saying these things about trans women are not pro-women. These are also the same kinds of women who are like, fuck liberal women, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're not pro-woman, but they take on this personality of like, yeah, look at these biological men that are dressing up as women, taking our blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you have never supported another woman in your life. Like, you are
maybe her little like Christian conservative
exactly.
bestie
But
on
like
that,
somebody like us, or like with opinions that are like not shared with theirs,
Mhm.
like, you know, fundamentalist religious women.
We are going off, but here's the
Yeah,
thing:
yeah,
it is a little hard to when we just open the podcast with how we fucked our moms for sport, and then we go into talking about
yeah.
But
Also,
you know what? If you don't know how to have fun and read in between the lines, that's on you.
Yeah, and that's true. And I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry for the political tangent. And if we are saying problematic things, sorry. I'm not.
No, what we were just saying was, I mean, well, in the beginning that was problematic, but that was just us standing up for basic human rights.
Yeah,
Also, I mean, I was raised in a liberal like my parents are both liberal. My mom, oddly enough, would come into my room like when I was growing up, and she would always be like, "Honey, I just want to say, if you're a lesbian, you know, like that's okay, and I will not love you any less." And I used to always think like,
it's
why
crazy
is she?
How that she was lying.
And it is crazy, and we'll talk about that off the pod bomb. But I always thought it was weird because I was like, well, I'm not fucking gay, like what? And then but like growing up in the South, like I do have lasting kind of PTSD from that. And I do like when I was I just got out of a relationship, spoiler alert, but when I was with my ex-girlfriend, I like sometimes even in public when we're holding hands, I like, and it's fine, especially like in LA, it's fine, but I still would have like this like judgment in my head that I had to like get over.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, I don't really want to be doing this. And because it was kind of like, oh, shame alert. And that's something I had to really like work through.
Right.
And I feel like the more I get into 12-step and the more I also just like grow up and just become more of my own person, I do feel like for the first, I don't know, I just really do feel like I'm starting to be comfortable and able to like shed off the the mental restraints that I had around like my sexuality
Yeah.
and like who I actually am. But also I feel so horrible for people that do live their whole life
Just
in shame and
repressed,
repression.
yeah.
And that's also why I think a lot like that some people can develop drinking problems or like severe forms of escapism
Like,
because they can't.
She was just saying like abusive, a lot of these like, that's not to say that just straight men aren't just abusive, but there are, a lot of men who end up like hiding behind their like lack of accepting their sexuality and become really abusive.
Mhm.
And that's really scary.
Yeah. Also, we don't live in a society that prioritizes mental health. And I think if we did, and there was more of like a
not at all.
softness to this society, then people would feel there would be like a safeness to explore not only like to explore vulnerability,
Mhm.
which would entail getting to know yourself. But
Mhm.
like we're not real. That's not really a priority.
Mm-mm.
And so you just have a bunch of like lost, hurt,
Mhm.
broken people wandering around.
Mhm. We're not really taught we're not taught how to be sensitive with ourselves. God, my dad yesterday, like 2 days ago, he calls me and he's talking about like my little nephew who's 2. My dad always says this, which makes me fucking crazy. He goes, "Yeah, Elvis, that boy is 100% boy." And I'm like, okay. And then he goes, "No shopping at Target for him." And I was like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. But he's,
What's shopping at Target?
because Target came out with that line of like children's clothes that's like LGBTQ friendly.
Mhm.
That's like for, it's like promoting, I don't know,
Oh,
just
I
gay
Oh my God!
acceptance.
Wait, I just
shop at Target.
Well, it sounds
well,
sounds
Lee,
like you're gay.
do you have something to tell us
Yeah,
that you're
so
a gay loser? No, I'm just kidding. But
conservatives are going wild against Target now. They're like, you're trying to force your pedophilia sexuality on our children because you're making.
go look at the Catholic Church. Go look at the people in DC,
Bye.
and then you're gonna find the fucking pedophiles. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but so I just did a show with Maddie Chimber, and he is working on this new joke right now. I'll just say like he was talking about Bud Light and about how Bud Light is under scrutiny because they just had a trans girl, be the face of it. And then he's like, here's what I think is gross. I think it's gross to hate a company just because of because like they have like a pro-gay, pro-trans spokesperson. He's like, but I think it's equally gross for companies to just milk any dollar they can from any angle. He's like, there's no fucking backbone. He's like, and I just think it's so fucking gross.
Yeah.
And it's a new joke, but I think it's going to really have great legs.
It's literally like, Target does do this. Like they did it for like the Black Lives Matter movement when they're making all of this like really like these corny clothes that are like black and proud. And you're like, you're doing this to profit.
Yeah,
like
you're not
this
doing
isn't
this
in support of,
right.
like it looks like it's in support of Black people, but it's not. Like you guys are just doing this to be like, hey, come and buy our $13 shirt. Like
I mean, Target has to be $1 billion, at least, like a multi-billion dollar.
It feels
so.
fake.
So if they were actually in support, they could donate a large sum of money to these organizations,
and maybe they are.
I would have to look deep into it.
Yeah,
don't worry, Gabby and I haven't. But yeah, I do get frustrated. I feel like there's so much performative bullshit.
It's performative,
but also,
right?
Like if you walk in there and like you're not gay, like literally I was just eating pussy for the last 9 months. I'm not going to go in and buy a shirt that says I'm a lesbian and I love myself and my vagina.
That's like, exactly what it is.
Literally, it's like pink and proud. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But like
queer woman, and it's like, okay, don't make us. Come on.
Yeah. And here's the thing, and if you like it. Oh, fucking wear it. Go off. I don't give a fuck. But also it's like, and if you don't like it, you just go, okay, and just keep it pushing. I think people, you know what the actual issue is? It's not homophobia. It's not all this. It's people need hobbies. Because when you don't have if you don't have anything to do, you're going to get online and be like, well, here's the thing about, they just start rattling off. It's like, go pick up a fucking needle and start knitting.
Yeah. Go on a walk. I don't know.
Go fucking play a board game with your family.
Yeah, dude, I went on Facebook last night. I never go on Facebook. I went on it, and it's such a shithole.
Girl, I deleted that.
It's a shithole. It's just like these clickbait articles and people sharing their weird, stupid opinions. And it's like, I don't know. It feels like even more of a weird diary, like a weird public diary than anything else.
Facebook, everyone that's actively using Facebook to rattle off needs to be medicated.
Yeah, they do.
And then if they are medicated and they're still doing it, then they need to be sedated.
Yeah, they really do. And then they need to be put down.
That's why I said permanently, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so permanently.
Okay, you guys. A bi queen born from toxic relationship. Honks. Poo poo. I love y'all. When I was 20, I got into a longish...
Poo-poo.
It's pee. When I was 20, I got into a longish distance 3 hours relationship. He was manipulative in the way that he would corner me crying, begging for me to not leave him because he cheated on me on my birthday weekend.
Ew.
I am so turned on.
This is written by a woman?
Yeah. Or he would tell me he would kill himself like his dad did if I left him. Do it. Just super toxic shit. Before I came to my senses, we sometimes talked about future kids. He would make the most out-of-pocket comments like, if we had a daughter, she would be hot. And if she wasn't hot, she wouldn't be my daughter.
No.
That is actually
No.
pedophilic, and that
No.
needs to be studied.
No.
I've blocked most of them out of my brain, but every comment was sexualizing his future daughter. I literally stayed with him for months after these comments were made. I'm a fucking idiot. Well,
Ew.
honey, at least you got out. So when I found out he cheated on me, something inside me gravitated towards experimenting with girls. I matched with the hottest girl I've ever seen. 2 days later, we fucked for 3 hours, high as fuck on weed. It was my first time with a girl, but it felt so right and natural. Since that mini relationship, I immediately explored bisexuality. 10 years later, I'm married to my husband of 5 years, and we have the healthiest sexual relationship. He supports my sexuality and lets me mess around a little strictly with women. I think my ex making women out to be trophies and objects made my subconscious say, let's fuck that. Let's get revenge by fucking a girl.
Yeah.
I just had no clue it would change me like it has. I've been manic binging the pod for weeks. Thank y'all for being so entertaining and real. All three of you make me laugh every episode. And Harper, ooh wee, I love you. Oh my God, cute. I love you.
That's really cute. I also
That's-
wonder too, like talking like about kind of allowing yourself to go out and explore how many of us are actually don't even know that we have like bisexuality within us. Maybe we are all bisexual. Who knows?
Okay. I think I might have talked about it on here before, so I don't want to be redundant, but there's someone that you and I know, and I was talking to this person the other day, and this person has always identified as like straight. And they had brought up the conversation again. And so that's what made me think about it. But I do think it's really interesting because this person did used to hold a definitely more like conservative leaning state of mind, persona, whatever it is. But so they were this more conservative, more like, I don't like gays, whatever. And now this person is not like that. And they were like, honestly, like I had to kind of look at my sexuality. And I realized, I think a lot of it's just more of the same of what we've been saying, but it still just kind of just validates what we are saying, because he's like, honestly, one of my first crushes was on a guy, and I was young, but I just remember thinking that he was cute. And I've looked at men like that before, and I know that I don't want to do anything, but like I do have this in me, and I have this like little tiny part of me. And so I do think that's important to notice. And I think that not everyone is able to recognize that within themselves. And I feel like ever since this person did recognize that, he's a lot more calmer and he's a lot more confident within himself.
Okay.
Like, I know like we like joke around a lot, but I do think it is really sad if you just like live in this repressed state and you don't get to like
express any of it or ever really look into it. You're too afraid to let yourself look into it. There's also something to be said for young boys sitting around and jerking each other off, like sitting around having fucking circle jerks.
That's gay.
It's so gay, dude.
That's gay.
Yeah.
And that's really that.
That's that.
And I know people always say life is short, but it's long, and you should be able to spend it doing what you want to do, unless it's actually fucking your mom for sport.
Unless it's sexualizing your unborn daughter, then you should be locked up.
Now, here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
That's so insane. That's fucking insane.
Insanely hot.
I mean, I almost fucking squirted when I was reading that.
Dear Gassy Honk, sensational bonk, and Lee, is pee still controversial? First things first.
Well,
I'm a relatively new honk off member. I'm so happy that I discovered the podcast. Cute. I love all the prompts. Thank you. I love all the prompts, but this one spoke to my bisexual heart. My first experience with a girl was in middle school. My friend convinced me to be in a school play, Annie. Okay, classic.
That's on Hard Knock Life.
It is on Hard Knock Life. Some of the talented kids took it really seriously, but my group of friends, fucking dorks, but my group of friends mostly did it just to have extra time to hang out together after school. Enter Lizzy. Okay, not you writing this like a fucking play. Enter Lizzy. To me, there was something about her tomboyish style and edgy but tender personality that drew me in. I found to this date that my taste in women and men are freakishly similar. I get that. She was the preteen girl version of the actor Patrick Fugit.
Oh my God. Yeah, Fugit.
Who I had a crush. What a bad last name. Who I had a crush on. Watching the movie White Oleander was a canon event for me, and I still think Patrick Fugit is hot.
Fugit.
We got to talking and would see each other around the halls at school. I have no idea why, but at some point we just decided to meet up and make out in the bathroom. Okay, hot.
Okay.
This continued and at random points throughout the day. Okay, that's so fun. We would just take off and suck face. Okay. I don't remember when it started, just that it happened a lot. I don't even remember how it ended, except that a close friend thought I was doing it for attention because Lizzy and I made out in a hot tub in front of other friends. I promise we were just hot for each other. Okay, well, guess what? She was jealous. She was a sweetie, and I don't know what happened to her after I moved. I don't recall drawing any serious conclusions about my sexuality from my time with Lizzy, other than she was hot, and so were boys. Seems simple to me. I moved away from that town, and that was that. Until...
Ooh.
See, that's... Oh, real quick, that is interesting, because it's so innocent. It's just like, this person's hot. Like, sometimes that's all it has to be, you know? Like, that is all that it is. And to have this weird war on sexuality, it's like, people are hot. Across the board. Okay. The summer before high school, I volunteered for some marching band fundraising, which I was encouraged to do to meet new people before school started. I met Olivia. She was a grade ahead of me and very obviously a lesbian. She was flirty and very forward. I was charmed. Again, at some point, it became clear that she was interested in me. I know that I'm describing this in a really passive manner, but I didn't clock anything about liking girls being a problem or noteworthy until band camp and school started. Anyway, leading up to band camp, we hung out and started getting romantic. Lots of kissing and connecting. It was so much fun. That's one of the things I miss about romantic relationships with women. Anyway, then band camp started, and she was in a different section than me, but she would still give me a signal during practice, and we would meet up in the bathroom for some intense makeout sessions. As you can tell, much like Harper, I'm a kissaholic. We eventually got together and people reacted weirdly. It was sensationalized and treated like something to be hidden. And so perhaps subconsciously, so that I wouldn't be labeled permanently a lesbian by guys, and also so that I didn't have to have a conversation with my parents about it, we decided to keep it on the down low. The rest of the story is she ended up cheating on me with a friend in my section. So fell our thing apart. So things fell apart. I don't know. They went on to date for a long, long time. Also secretly because my friend's mom and a lot of the other involved volunteer parents, chaperones, were homophobes. I never dated a girl again. My partner of 10 years and hopefully forever is a man. I love him dearly and never felt the need to make my bisexuality known to others except my closest friends and partner. Love you guys. Can't get enough of the pod.
That was really well written.
So... it's interesting because she's like, throughout most of the story, she's like, I didn't have any issue with like making out with women. Didn't even know there was a problem. Didn't cross my mind until people started criticizing her and like being like, ew, what are you doing? And then it got into her head like, oh, is this not okay?
That really does affect your spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that like without the stigma from other people, would it even be a fucking issue?
I mean, why would it? No.
Why would it? And why would it?
Gay catfish virginity taker / Serbian fake marriage.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I've got two because I can't decide which person is worse. Well, God forbid we write about a happy one. Okay. The first one was when I was 16. I met a guy on makeoutclub.com.
That's a real website.
Lee, I'm going to need you to get the fuck on the laptop right now. I'm going to need you.
What is it
called? And we're making you a profile, so don't even worry about that.
What's it called?
Honey, I'll say it one more time. Makeoutclub.com.
Unreal.
It's not coming up. I'll keep looking at.
Maybe it was deleted.
Maybe it was deleted for trafficking. No, I'm just kidding. But
yeah, it was. That's definitely for trafficking.
Makeoutclub.com.
Oh.
Okay, wait, it doesn't exist anymore because it's almost like if I would have kept reading the email.
Okay, great, gorgeous.
Ooh, okay. So here's the thing. When I was 18, met a guy, I met a guy on makeoutclub.com, like a scene dating app / message board in the early 2000s. I found out he was using someone else's photos because the real person contacted me. I didn't care. I was determined to get rid of my virginity so I could be free from it. I also told the guy I was not a virgin to make things happen. Easier. Within 5 minutes of meeting him, he had sex with me. He asked, I think this is written by a girl. He asked why I was bleeding, and I just said, that's weird. And I do love and hate that. A week or two later, he convinced me to drive him from Seattle to Portland for a Montessori or a Morrissey show.
Wait, how old is this person?
18 at this time. She said 18.
Okay,
a week or two later, he convinced me to drive him from Seattle to Portland for a Morrissey show. I did it even though I didn't give a fuck about Morrissey. Okay, easy. I gave him a blowjob in a parking garage, and then he told me the show was 21 and over, so I couldn't go. Because
come on. You waited till then to tell you that?
Are we sure this isn't a worse person?
No, didn't the title start off with being gay?
Gay catfish virginity taker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Lee,
Sorry, my bad.
you just really ruined my
Wait, this was getting good.
Oh, I know.
Right.
You just kind of ruined it.
Wait, this was getting good.
How did
Well,
we
you just ruined it.
Keep reading.
All right, keep
Ooh,
going.
Ruined. Okay, so thank you guys. Let's win our episode. Okay, so yeah, so you drove him from Seattle to Portland, and then right when you get there, after you suck his dick. Okay, so that's actually extra cool.
So you sucky.
So you park in the parking lot.
Yes.
So that's actually egregious. So you go in the parking lot, and so you give him a pre-concert beach, and then he goes, "Oh, now that I've came, I just remembered you can't come in."
Yeah. See ya.
Monsters are among us.
See ya, bitch. Yeah.
Because I was a stupid 18-year-old, child, essentially. Because I was a stupid 18-year-old, I waited around and drove him back to Seattle.
Oh,
honey. Yeah, because here's the thing. If you would have been in your 20s or 30s, you would have just left him. Well, you wouldn't have even done this, so don't worry about that. A week later, he told me he was actually gay, which was definitely true.
Is that good enough for you, Lee?
Yeah, Lee.
Is that good enough for you?
Yeah, Lee. Are you going to measure his sexuality? So what, gay people can't be
It
assholes?
sounded like it was a worse person story.
Well, sometimes gay people can be villains too.
Yeah, like-
Because if we want equality, we want to participate in all facets
I
of
was
life.
gonna cut it out, but now I can't.
And you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
And you
because guess what?
can't.
This is a story about a gay guy.
And so don't ruin this podcast ever again, beast. Okay.
Okay, so now this guy's
so
gay.
Lee, I'm gonna read if I can do my job. A week later, Lee's actually trying to hit me right now with his own feces. Okay, a week later, he told me he was actually gay, Lee, which was definitely true. And I told him how I was a virgin, and he was pissed. Okay, well, he's gay, and so it's fine. 6 months later, he convinced me to let him borrow something like $500 for a new apartment.
What?
But he would pay me back more. The new apartment was real, but everything else was not. A month later, I left a note under the apartment door, and the landlord called me to tell me he disappeared.
No.
And had never even moved in.
No.
And never gave the guy money. Someone had told me that he sold fake computers on eBay, but because I was a stupid 18-year-old, I didn't listen. After that, I would warn guys on Friendster about him. I don't know what that is.
Friendster was like one of the original social medias.
Oh, wow.
It was like MySpace and then Friendster.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Kind of before Facebook.
Then I found out at some point he actually went to prison in California for fraud.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, honey. Okay. For some reason, 5 years later, he contacted me saying he wanted to pay me back and he felt bad. I gave him my parents' address to send the check because I didn't really believe him. Otherwise, I just tried to casually pry him for info because it turned out we were living in the same small city at the time. Okay, this one's short. That was it. That was gay catfish virginity taker. This is Serbian fake marriage. It's like
wait, I was getting so into that.
I know. I kind of wanted more.
Send something to the house. Like, what happened?
24.
This kid was mentally ill. Okay.
Yeah, but most importantly, Lee, he was gay. Okay. So
I work with retards.
Because just literally, you're preventing us from getting signed to CIA. Okay.
I am.
Yeah, this is all you. Lee told us that he was going to, never mind. Okay. I lived in NYC in my late 20s. For a while, I considered marrying a trans prostitute friend of mine so she could, the P word is apparently a bad word, so you're not a good friend. I have a friend of mine, so she could get a green card, but decided it couldn't, or it wouldn't be convincing enough. That made things easier for me to do the dumbest shit of my life. I met a guy off OkCupid, and turned out he was hoping to marry someone for a green card. I thought, why not?
She was on all the sites.
No,
Yeah, huh?
she is a digital
She's on
diva.
every single site.
Every single, makeoutclub.com, Friendster.
Friendster,
The hell?
Craigslist,
Yeah.
Grindr. Yeah, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And that's on Digital Diva. A green card. I thought, why not? Because he was saying he would pay my rent and buy me gifts. I married him too quickly, and he thought he could con me and pay me with sex because he had a massive dick. Even if it were a nice...
Okay.
Not impressed, honey. Even if it were a nice dick and the sex was good, I'm sure you guys would agree that would never be worth it. Well,
Yeah.
honey, yeah, are you sure? Because you should be positive. Because who in their right mind would go, you got
You're
a
right.
horse dick? That's better than $800, honey. Okay, come on.
My God. Oh, yeah, I'm furious.
No, beware of men with big dicks because sometimes they'll try and use it instead of cash, and that's a fucking red flag. Okay. Anyways, here's the thing. Doodly doo. His dick was so big you could barely get it in your mouth and couldn't really feel much from sex.
Oh.
He wasn't even good at sex, and he didn't even like kissing. So terrible sex. Okay, I
Oh my
can't.
God. Okay.
Anyway, he did pay my rent once, but I wound up pregnant from a guy I was actually seeing, and he
Okay.
used that as an excuse for a divorce. I also went to meet him at his lawyer's office one time, and we got into a fight outside. I followed him back to the subway station, spitting on him from behind for several blocks. Months later, I had to go to court about the child of the marriage, even though there wasn't one, because I had a miscarriage before I could even get an abortion. I'm pretty sure he also stole my taxes that year on TurboTax.
Stop.
And now I have to file with a PIN number I get sent in the mail for life. XOXO. Hope we get to hang out one day.
Okay, this
honey.
poor girl has been through it.
Okay, and that's on CU Online.
That's so true. See you online.
Yeah,
girl.
and that's on Hanging Out Online. Whoa.
Wow.
A girl from my
Yeah.
high school was always talking to some guy, and she was always like talking about her fucking boyfriend. She's like, oh yeah, we always chat. He lives in the next town over. Da, da, da. Turns out it was like a grown 40-year-old man in our town.
Can you imagine how many, this happened to so many girls our age, like in middle school.
Yes.
I did this all the time. I catfished. My catfishing experience as a teenager was really, I look back on that and I'm like, what the hell was I doing?
No, you just go in these chat rooms.
And I started I had a couple girls that I had like one really hot girl, and I would chat with guys and be like, this is me. And they'd be like, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen.
That's a good topic.
Yeah. Oh, it is,
We
isn't
should
it?
do a catfish.
Catfish.
topic.
Wait, should we do that for next
We
one?
should do that
Yeah.
next
Okay, let's do
week.
catfishing next.
Catfishing is good. Okay. So I would catfish with this like really hot blonde girl. Guys were really into it. And then I remember I like befriended supposedly she was a mom. Who knows back then? She was a mom, and I like stole pictures of these two twin girls. They were like teenagers that my brother went to high school with. And I like played the role of both of them. And I like became friends with this mom. And I was like, me and my sister are twins. Like we just love
It's
like
giving
making
Lindsay
new
Lohan.
friends. I know. And then like this mom would like, we would like chat every day, and she'd be like, oh, I'm with my like little son, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, that's so cool. I don't even remember what we talked about, but like, what the hell was I doing?
That's
Why was
insane.
I like, and then chatting with like 40-year-old women?
Okay, I love that you're talking to women. I was always in those chat rooms talking to dudes, and I had a few characters too.
What was that?
Escapism? I don't know.
Yeah.
Acting.
Being 13 and using other people's pictures to talk to people.
I
What
loved
a
that.
funny thing.
I loved that show, Catfish, too.
so good.
And then I eventually, a few years after it came out, then I eventually like watched his movie that like started it. But that is really just so selfish and wild to pretend to be someone else and like make and coerce someone into a relationship under false pretenses.
I
Some
bet people
hilarious-
have some really good stories.
Oh my
Dude,
God. That movie with Patton Oswalt where he catfishes his son into that movie I was
Keep
talking
your-
about.
that
I love
you're
my son.
Scarred by that movie.
Yeah, I am scarred because he had sex with his son as the
Okay,
girl.
we got to see this movie.
Yeah, Gabby, you would.
It's giving
especially
Mrs.
love it.
Doubtfire.
We should just
Oh, it is
watch
the dark
on
side
here.
of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh my God. Speaking, if you guys are listening, if you guys are looking for like a new podcast to listen to Scamanda. It's so good. It's like a 6-part series on a girl that may or may not have cancer, and you guys should listen to it.
You
Anyway.
wish. You wish.
Gay experiences.
You wish.
One time a few years ago, I had a threesome with a guy I was seeing. This is written by a girl. And one of my close girlfriends. She always joked about it. So the day I moved into my new place, we finally made it happen.
Dang, there's boxes everywhere.
Yeah, right? You have like a toaster and that's it.
I know.
So
You don't have any food.
No food. So it starts and I can tell that she's way more into me than I am into her.
Also, having a threesome with your partner and a close friend just doesn't seem
so weird.
Yeah.
So
I don't
this
know.
is a guy. Okay, yeah. So it seems like also just like a casual thing. But I would never have a threesome with one of my friends. Absolutely the fuck not. She was basically only doing stuff with me and told the guy she didn't want to fuck him. She ended up sitting on my face.
On her face.
She ended up sitting on my face. And afterwards, I went to the bathroom and there was blood on my face.
Oh, okay. People, what are we doing here?
Yep, blood. Sometimes I think I'm bi, but then I remember this experience and question it. Well, here's the thing. Bi or not, I don't think anybody wants blood on their face.
Hey, sweet girl, I don't want you to paint me up like I'm going to a war party.
I don't think, yeah.
What? I don't want to look like I'm going into battle.
Nobody's going to really, I don't think, enjoy the experience of period blood unless you have a specific kink.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, if you're on your period or something, you can still fuck. And I think if you are into the person or whatever, or you just don't care, okay, then go off. But usually there's like a warning before that. There's like there's like a precursor, like, oh, just letting you know I'm on my period. So do.
Yeah, that's wild that you would
And then
just
you
plant
guys
your
can go
pussy on
from-
somebody's face
You
bloody.
can go from there. But to just not say anything is actually crazy.
It's pretty wild. Also, fuck period sex. It's so gross to me. No way.
I just don't even feel hot when I just like don't want to be tired. I'm like, ew. I just want to watch it.
Smelly. I don't. No, thank you. Okay. Fast forward to about a year later, and she randomly blocked me and never talked to me again. So there's that. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. There's that.
Was that it?
That was that.
And that's on Bloody Mary.
So she's not bisexual because she thinks about period blood. And there it is.
Now, here's the thing. I'm going to let you decide. Do we do threesome with my crazy ex-friend or rainbow bomb my coming out?
Do Rainbow Bomb.
Yeah, because we
Okay.
just did a threesome.
Okay. It's giving the Odyssey. Okay. Hey, Honks and Lee. How can I squeeze 3 decades into an email? Well, buckle up.
Okay.
I'll give it my best shot.
Okay.
Picture this. It's giving cinematic. Okay. Picture this. It's the 90s. The Spice Girls are ruling the airwaves. And there I am, a little kindergartner, dreaming of becoming the 6th Spice Girl. No, I'm not trans, but I've always embraced my femininity. Now, here's where things get spicy. My parents were a divorced, unlikely duo, a Pentecostal homophobic dad and a fiery atheist mom. The battle for my sexual...
Pentecostal, right? That's a
Yeah, it's
religion?
Pentecostal.
Wait, what did I say?
Pentecostal. Okay, it's giving bicoastal.
Sometimes
It's giving living on the coast
the
of
battle for my
Pennsylvania.
sexuality silently played out through the Spice Girls saga. On one shoulder, my angelic mother showered me with everything Spice Girls and forever uplifting me. On the other shoulder, my dad, the devil himself, physically and emotionally punishing me for every feminine gesture. You want to know why? Because your dad was probably fucking gay and he was jealous of you for being your true authentic self.
Absolutely. Dad's giving gay.
Yeah. Your dad wanted to fucking live it up. Get with my friend. Okay. I hid deep in the closet, afraid to even confide in my mom, convinced that being gay was a cardinal sin. My dad remarried a nice lady from church who could agree that my mom was the reason I was a Spice Girl.
Oh my God.
Fuck her. Stay tuned to find out how far from wrong they were for blaming her. Fast forward to my mid-20s, I'm a self-sufficient force of nature, juggling 2 jobs, hitting the books in college, and lost 70 pounds. That newfound self-assurance was my cue to come out. No matter who I lay with, I am still a man. I mustered up the courage to come out. I mustered up the courage to come out to my mom, a select group of friends, and even my stepsister from my dad's side. Though she was raised homophobic, she became a makeup artist and had a change of heart with an open mind. That would be wild if she was a makeup artist and still like,
All it takes is getting 1 inch out of your hometown and you realize, oh, things aren't
exactly what they seem.
Yeah.
Also, that's also why you need also, no matter what your parents' beliefs are, it's important to like go explore the world and just get your own point of view.
Yeah.
We thought about how to break the news to my dad. Meanwhile, we had 2 younger brothers from my dad's side in high school, one of whom was showing a bit of the rainbow. We wondered, should we ask him now or wait till he's older? But before we could make a move, boom! Scandal rocked the church. A suspicious, high-pitched voice pastor approached my father, claiming that one of my little brothers had been going around school saying that he was gay. My dad, obsessed with appearances rather than our well-being.
Oh, your dad's so gay.
Yeah, it's giving.
Oh, your dad's gay.
Yeah, he gay. Who is saying this? Tell me who. But the pastor would not reveal his source. Instead of checking on the accused brother, my father turned on the youngest one, interrogating him. Is your brother a gay? What do you know? Tell me. Terrified, the youngest brother sprinted back to their shared room with a nosebleed induced by stress. The brother in question, so that we're getting on child abuse. Okay. The brother in question rushed after him, asking, "What's wrong? Did he hurt you? What happened?" Then, in a Hollywood-worthy twist, the youngest brother replied, "Dad was asking if you were gay." "Well, what did you tell him?" the brother asked. And with his face in the sink rinsing blood, the youngest sibling replied, "I told him it was true, and I told him I was gay too." Whoa. That night, the house exploded. I was returning from a birthday trip when my sister called, telling me the rainbow atomic bomb detonated. My father threatened to leave the house and claimed he didn't want to live. Boo-hoo. The siblings sought refuge in the apartment for the weekend. Now, I must admit, the next part is far from my proudest moment. My stepsister pushed me right back into the closet, warning me not to utter a word because Dad had enough on his plate. So, like Monique and Precious, I shut my fat ass up. I'm going to fucking scream. And since I didn't live with my father, it was easy to keep my distance. My brothers were unapologetic, but my dad called a cult-like family meeting.
So his brothers are all gay too.
Yes. And I want you guys to know that studies have actually been done, and being gay is hereditary. So,
is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, it runs in families. Anyway, my dad called a cult-like family meeting. He had the 2 youngest open a Russian doll of plastic bags, bag after bag after bag, with a goop of warm shit at the core.
No.
My dad symbolically asked, "Is that what you want?" He thought he was so clever.
Yeah, a goop of what? Yeah, okay.
My brothers fled the house. I would have thrown it at him. They wanted no part in our family drama and theatrics, including my gay self. One emerged as transgender, and the other proudly embraces gay identity. I admire them for being braver than I was.
Hell yeah.
Shortly after, I found myself in a strong and loving relationship. It was my time to spill the beans to the cult leader. My older Christian brother and the homophobic sister were well aware of what was coming. With trembling hands, I let the cat out of the bag. I pleaded, pouring my heart out, explaining I am hardworking, compassionate, family oriented. Bye. Man, and being gay is no valid reason to sever ties. He responded in his broken English, "No matter how professional or educated you become, it won't get you in or out of hell. You will not be accepted anywhere by anyone."
Shut up.
It clicked for me. The only place I haven't felt accepted is here, in this house, or cult grounds, rather.
Love.
Tears streaming down my face, I left the room. My sister followed, telling me to shut up and leave the house. Fuck off, cunt.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted to drag her by the hair, I instead reminded her that I loved her before. Oh my God, it's gonna make me cry. Instead, I reminded her that I loved her before I left. Now, let me tell you, when I woke up the next day, I saw the world in a vibrant color, a literal rainbow. Since then, I've completed school. I'm at the peak of my career and celebrated 5 years with the love of my incredible, and he's so cute. I can't wait to show you him. 5 years with the love of my life, my incredible boyfriend, which is practically like 15 years in gay years. I have a relationship with my trans sister, but the rest are still lost in the cult in some way or another. So there you have it, folks, the rainbow bomb. Life's been challenging, but I wouldn't trade my newfound freedom and happiness for anything. I added some pics of me and my boo, and we love your podcast. Keep spreading laughter and love. Me in the front and him in the back.
Oh my God, you guys are so cute.
You guys are fucking hot and so cute.
You're so cute. I'm screaming.
So fucking cute. Congratulations.
You also kind of look alike.
I know. And that's on Keep It in the Family. But you guys are so cute.
Oh, wow.
Wait, do you want to see?
Oh, wow.
I know. Adorable. That was a fantastic story. Thank you so much for taking the time and writing that out and for reliving that.
Yeah. And do you think your dad is gay? I mean, that's just some like, yeah, God. I can't imagine how hard it is to come out to a family that is so anti-gay.
I can't imagine giving a fuck.
I can't imagine giving a single fuck.
Who you should care about if the person if the person your child is dating is treating them well, and if they're nice, and that's literally
You
it.
should care about if your kid is just
Unhappy.
taken care of and nice, you know? Like, what the I don't know. See, but this is what's so weird, because I've never been religious. I don't understand religion. I don't understand like the hate that people come from with it.
It's fear mongering.
It is, but it's weird that like, okay, so from these really religious people's point of view, they really believe that like you're gonna go to hell for being gay. So like you really believe that that's the truth. You're gonna be so full of fear, right, towards your kid. You're gonna be like, you can't be this way because you're gonna go to hell. Can you imagine? You're gonna go to hell, but it's like. So I guess if you really believe that, it's like painful, but it's the same time, it's like, are you for like?
Well, truly. Also, here's the thing. This is where so. Of course, you can see the humanity if you look at it from any angle, and you can say like, okay, this is like they're in fear, and I totally get that. But where it becomes abusive and controlling, like to have literal feces in a plastic bag, and you have your child put your hand in that, that is number one, that's mentally ill and it's abusive. And number two, it's like you're not really practicing what you preach, because Christianity is like you're supposed to like love thy neighbor and whatnot. And that's like just like when like the Bible is used as a form of control, because it's like you're being selective. There's a ton of gay shit in the Bible. There's also incest. There's also like there's so many ways there's so many ways it's interpreted. To me, I just feel like it's clownish and legally insane to not be able to, I don't know, just like set your beliefs aside. Also like, okay, it says you're not supposed to be gay in the Bible. Okay, there is a lot of gay stories, and also it also says that you're not supposed to like hit your wife or do whatever, and people be hidden out there. And I just think it becomes very pick and choosy.
It is, yeah.
And I didn't grow up in a religious household, but I do have religious trauma from growing up in the South and being surrounded by that. And like my school wasn't Christian, but like essentially almost all my teachers were. And like they would always make comments about being gay or like gay people in general, or like Hollywood and stuff. And I'm just like, I remember hating North Carolina, and I fucking hated my high school. Everyone was so mean, and I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. But then when I look back, I'm just like, oh, that really affected me more than I thought it would, or it did. Even I wasn't even fully aware. Like, I think it's kind of like sad that, and then also like for this poor guy, like, I mean, that's so beautiful now that he's in a 5-year relationship and he has a fucking hot boyfriend, and that's amazing, and has a relationship with his siblings. But like, some people aren't lucky like that. Some people, they live in fear, because you do kind of have to, in regards like this, you do have to choose between being yourself and then you're losing your family.
Well, that's also why I think a lot of these like really angry guys are probably also repressed, because they're probably gay or bisexual, have these tendencies, and come from a family, like, you know, it just keeps getting passed down.
Right.
I have a friend of mine who I'm convinced, I don't know if he's gay, but I have a feeling he probably is bisexual, and he's really angry. Anytime he talks about gay men, he was like, I was with like
comic?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were with like a couple of friends, and they were guys, and he's like, you guys watch porn with guys fucking girls? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, ugh, I can't see dicks. I can't see that. Ugh, no way. No way, you. And I was like,
well,
okay. I don't know. And it's for me, like, I wasn't raised in a household that it was ever brought up. I mean, my dad's obsessed with it now. It's because he has fucking dementia and is going crazy. But like growing up, it was never any mention. I remember when my first gay friend, when he came out, I had no opinion on it. I was just like, okay, good. Like, who gives a fuck? Yeah. Like, I can't imagine giving a fuck. But I wasn't raised to give a fuck. Yeah. So I guess if you're raised in a household that's like, you gotta be straight or you ain't getting into heaven, it's like, okay.
It puts so much, life is, I mean, being a teenager and a preteen is already so hard and uncomfortable enough. And then you add in sexual confusion and frustration and a lack of acceptance. that's gonna fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad, but yeah.
And it is gonna fuck you. Gay experience edition.
I was getting worried that we weren't gonna have one.
Hey, honks and Uncle P.
Lee just went to sleep.
My first gay experience was when I was 3 years old.
Ah!
And a family member, a woman, molested me.
Okay.
Okay. So I bet you really liked the intro of this episode. That was super gay of her. I'm screaming. It was really gay of her.
Yeah, it's giving Rosie O'Donnell.
Also had an experience in the 2nd grade when me and my best girlfriend decided to practice kissing in every position in the middle of the night, laying down on top of each other, standing, then falling. We never spoke of it again and grew apart, but breakfast the next morning was really awkward. You know what's crazy is that she thinks about this too.
And you want to know what? She was probably molested as well.
Yeah.
Because when kids are, that's a sign of being molested, when kids are very like hypersexual. Yeah.
I also wonder that like, I know that, but also are there kids who just like also experiment with like kissing and shit?
To an extent, yes. But when it's this young, no.
I wonder. That's all. I'm straight, but I do feel attracted to women sometimes. And I've always wondered if my early childhood sexual assault contributed to me never exploring with a woman. I'm also in a long-term relationship and probably will never explore, which I'm fine with. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah. If it contributed to me never exploring with women, I'm sure there's like probably some like PTSD there.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fuck sure.
God, that's insidious.
Do you have any more?
I have a long one.
You have a long one?
Do you have a short one?
I have a short one.
Okay.
Threesome
with my crazy ex-friend. Hi, honks and Pee-wee. Big Al here. Couple important notes first. Lee and I share a birthday. Don't know what I'm supposed to feel about that. Don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that one. And Harper, I'm from North Carolina too. A tiny ass shit drama town. It truly is a wild time over here. I've been listening for around 2 months now, and I'm officially a Patreon member.
Nice.
Woo! I smoke a lot of weed, so I keep forgetting. Otherwise, I would have subscribed immediately. I'm catching up on every episode, and I'm obsessed. Okay, literally, God bless you.
Thank you.
This is a story from last March when I was still friends with a mentally unhinged blonde bitch named Jay. She was in school hours away, and I was visiting for the weekend. We were going to be going on a trip next weekend for spring break to Savannah, Georgia, if you were wondering. And I'd love to share that one while I'm at it because it's a fucking traumatic time that ended our friendship.
Please.
The story starts when we go out to bars and find a guy named D she was friends with. Then both proceed to dance and flirt with him till we took him home at the end of the night with us, along with another guy. It's important to note that at one point in the bar, I did ask if she gave a fuck if I flirted with him, and she told me no. We get home and she proceeds to yell and try and fight with me because I was sitting on his lap. He and I ended up on her bed whispering about how insane and jealous she was acting. She comes in and I try to explain to her what a cunt she was being. Okay. And she apologized and realized she had told me she didn't care about it, but now she realizes that she does care. We ended up all communicating that we wanted to fuck, and the other guy said, have fun, and dipped. Okay. We had a little powwow and talked about if we were all actually still down and if he'd had a threesome before. I was the only one who had, and it was the other two guys. It was with 2 other guys when I was 17. We're also all 21 when the story went down. We ended up fucking, and it was actually not the worst time.
Okay.
She broke out her vibrator, which was passed between us when the story went, She broke out her vibrator, which was passed between us when one didn't have much happening. We all ended up cuddling and passing out. We get breakfast the next morning, drop him off, go get high, and talk shit about his sex skills, and agreed we'd rather have had the guy who knew more about in bed, and that we might do it again one day. Who knows? All in all, a good time. And from then on, I wondered if I had my first girl crush. That's it on my gay experience. Love you guys. Keep fucking crushing it. And Lee's confidence. Lee. That's fucking funny. P.S. This below is a story of how we ended our friendship with a screenshot attached of the final fights.
We'll read that on Patreon.
And we're going to read that on Patreon.
I feel like threesome stories, nobody's ever like, that was the best sex of my life. I feel like it's always like, it was cool. It was like an experience.
This is such a chaotic photo.
It's such a chaotic photo. Is that them? The
Yeah.
guy they had a threesome with? That's so chaotic.
I fucking
But I
can't.
feel like it's never like it was amazing though. It's always just like, yeah, it was fine. I even like talked to guys that have had threesomes and they're like, it's okay. I've always wanted to, but
The first time I ever got drunk, it was off of Everclear. And there's a girl that always writes into this podcast who whose house I was at actually. And we all lifeguarded together. And it was like it was like the beginning of a three-way. But I was making out with this girl that I worked with, and then that I lifeguarded with, and then this other lifeguard came in, and then all three of us are like touching and making out, and then clothes started coming off, and then I was like, I'm a virgin, so I'm actually gonna head out, and I leave. They end up fucking, and then the next morning I had to go and get Plan B with her,
okay.
and I said, that's on Everclear.
See, threesomes scare me because I am so prone to BV. I wouldn't want like everybody else's fucking pussy juice inside of me.
Fuck.
Have you had a threesome?
I have not. No,
Yeah.
I can barely close the deal. As
Lee,
it
don't
is.
talk like that.
It's the truth.
He always comes. We always go, "Hey, Lee, you have this," and he goes, "I just tried to kill
Well,
myself."
I'm
And you're
not
like,
a
"Okay."
Well,
closer.
I actually asked a girl out and she said you should kill yourself.
I'm
So
not a
I'll try
closer.
again next year.
And my roommate had a threesome with this girl that I was into.
No,
Oh,
that's fucking rude.
Fuck that.
Well, wait, while you were home?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Lee, you've really been through it.
Yeah.
We have a couple more, but we'll move them over to Patreon. I have to pee really bad, so we'll end it there.
Okay.
Okay, you guys.
See you on
that was our
Patreon,
episode.
you guys.
Thank you guys so much for writing in. We really, really love your stories. But yeah, you guys can join us on Patreon. We do 4 extra episodes a month. It's $5. We release the prompts early on there. But yeah, other than that, you can follow us on Instagram, teatime42069.
That's that.
Send this podcast to someone who's fucking gay.
And the email address is teatimestories42069@gmail.com.
Happy Pride. Bye.
Bye.